Hi friends, this is Jessica, the Sweetwater Stitcher, and today is Tuesday, September 29th. Nope, the 30th. I wanted to welcome you back if you are returning, and welcome to those who are new. Today I have a lot to share, well, kind of a lot, and just like an update on life and what's going on. Thank you guys so much for all of the comments from last week. I know everybody loves fall, and it was fun to read all of the things that you like about fall and autumn, and it's a fun season for sure. In Florida right now, we're just getting outer bands, but in rain from some storms that are out off the coast. So it's been an interesting week so far. It's Tuesday, but we've had lots of intermittent rainstorms, and so thankfully I found my umbrella. But I haven't done a lot of personal stitching this week. I have been, and I mentioned before, working on a model stitch for a designer, and so between that and then kind of falling really deep down the knitting hole, which I feel like I need to not ever say never. This always happens to me. Whenever I say never, whatever it is, I get sucked in. So I've definitely fallen down the knitting hole. I did manage to get a little personal stitching in, so I had some to share with you guys, and my whips are still there, and I will get back to them. I am definitely kind of itching to I would like to try to, before I show that, I do have a couple sewing finishes, but I would like to try to get the one whip I'm going to show you finished this year, and then potentially go ahead and move on to Christmas stitching. I know we haven't even gotten into fall. I might keep one big fall piece out, but the model I'm working on, it's not huge, but it's definitely a lot more stitching than the previous one I had done, and I know it's going to take up more of my time, so I'm trying to kind of be realistic with my other projects, because now I have hands in all of these different places, and I want to do some of each thing. So I was able, though, to finish, and my kids are doing great. Everyone is doing their sports. It's just busy, and everyone has told me that when I'm getting to this point in motherhood and life, that life is going to get busy, and I completely understand how people kind of stop stitching and stop doing things when they're at this point, because life is busy and it's hard when I get home to sit and focus. But I've always said, and this still is true, the different crafts that I do are my kind of relaxations, I guess you would say, and that's what helps keep me sane and able to, sorry for knocking the table, to be a good mom and do my other things. So crafting will always, some type of crafting will for sure always be part of my life. What the craft is probably going to fluctuate, but we will see. So I don't even know how this came to be, but my daughters both wanted a tote bag as well, and so I got making tote bags again this week. I did make this one. This is with Ruby Star Society. These are different stars, and so I made this. I really made it for myself, and then I realized I love the fabric, but it's not really necessarily my style. I used webbing for the straps, and on the inside, this is my favorite part. I might make this as a bag for myself just because I like it. It's the selvage fabric, and so I still hadn't made my daughter's tote bags, and so my middle daughter, who is 6, she was admiring this, and I said, well, why don't you have it then? So she already has her gymnastics clothes in here, and she can basically wear this around her neck like a crossbody, and it's about the same size as her. So it's just a modified version of that one, the first tote bag I made, where I just made the box bottom a little bit smaller. And you can definitely, I will link that pattern. It's a Riley Blake. It was free from their blog, and I first heard about it from Nicole Spohr. She had made one, and so I made that's the first bag I made with the French General fabric, and it's rather large, and it's large inside as well. And so this one, I just cut the parts to make the bottom. I just cut them a little bit smaller, and then it made a different size. So you can do all kinds of things to adapt the pattern, but use the same methods. So for instance, this is another one I made for myself, and I wanted it to be short and long to put yarn in. And so this bag I made with some old Tilda fabric. Again, I used the webbing for the straps instead of making straps. And so this is just like a natural webbing. And this is what this bag looks like. And this one I added some ribbon, and I've done that to a few of my tote bags to get them to close. And I mean, it's nothing fancy. I just sew it to the edge like that, and then you can tie it. You could unstitch it. So it's not stitched into the bag, but I'm not like ripping. I'm not being very hard on the ribbon, and so I don't feel like you necessarily need to have it sewn in. Also, this is that measuring tape ribbon. And so this is the perfect size to put, it's short and long, and it's the perfect size to put a knitting or crocheting project in. If you wanted to adapt, and this, I'm pretty sure that this piece of fabric that's on the outside was a fat quarter. I didn't measure it before, but I had it with a charm pack of this line, which forget what it's called now. I want to say it's called Windy Days. It's an older Tilda line that I had in my stash. And so I had bought the charm pack, and then I bought a fat quarter. And so I just made this with a fat quarter. I quilted it, and I used the same method again as the Riley Blake tote, which the premise is you quilt the outside, whether it's a single panel or using charm squares, or you could use mini charm or whatever you want for the outside, and then you are sewing that together, and then you sew the liner around the top and you flip it inside out. So I'm not quilting my liner to the outside of the bag. That's another method, and that method you would then have exposed seams, and you would need to close those. And the bag that's right here that I got from Nicole Patterson, that's how her bag is, where she has quilted through the outside and the liner, and she's using a binding to hide the exposed seams. So it's just a different method. You're still getting the same idea with the box bottom. And I cut my box bottom, and I know that Carrie Tiger Lily, I haven't made this bag yet, but I have the pattern. Her Queen Takes Center Stage, and if it's available now, I'll link it. If it's not, it will be soon. It was a class that she had done, not on one of the virtual retreats, but she had done it on her website. And she shows you a method where you're not having to cut out, but you're still making the box bottom. So I forget how she does it, but you can go watch or buy the pattern, which then gives you a video tutorial to make that. And I would like to make that I would like to make that bag as well to use as a knitting bag. So those were my finishes from this week, were mainly sewing. I also brought, because I did, oops, something fell. I did decorate for fall, and I put some pictures in from last week. And so I wanted to bring a couple previous finishes. First, and the thing that fell was, went over here. I have this tray, and it still has the price tag on it from Hobby Lobby. And this is the tray. I love it. And it sits on my fireplace. And in my tray, I have When Pumpkins Glow. And this, and it has Tilda on the back. This is by Brenda Gervais. I stitched it with the 40 count kit from Farm Girl Dry Goods. I do not think she has any kits anymore, but you can buy all of the parts. This was originally supposed to be on Chantel 141 Design, her panorama board. And I had the board, I think I still have it. But I decided after I was done, I really wanted to make it into a pillow. So I made mine into a pillow. I used all of the parts though. I used the mini rickrack and the bow at the top. And this sits in that tray. I really like that. Then in the tray, I also have these little pumpkins, which are from Benzie Design. And I had put these in my retreat goodie bag for my table gifts. So I have those in there. This was a little broom I bought in a Mana. So I have that in there. Eventually, I would like to stitch one of the pieces from Brenda Gervais that you wrap around the broom. But for now, it's just part of my display. And I also have, this is Autumn Swan. And I did adapt it a little bit. I took out one of the pumpkins and I don't have the words on it to make it more of a square. And in here, up here in the top corner, are so pretty pins. And she did just have a release, and she has these pins available as well. And they're so cute on here. And that's some from the Creating Memories line as well. And so this is in there. I absolutely love this. I need to get the Christmas one stitched because the Christmas, I don't have the Christmas or the spring one stitched, but I have the summer and the autumn one. So that all goes in there. And then let me see if I can grab this really quick. This is another fun. I did not make this. My friend Nicole made this for me. This was a part of our gift at Shepherd's Bush, we went to Shepherd's Bush. It was at the Snug Harbor Stitch West, at the Stitch West retreat last year. But she made us these stars, and they are from Fig Tree Quilts. There is a pattern for this on there, and they're patchwork stars. And I love it, and I put it in my display, and it's so cute. So that goes over in the corner, but it's here's kind of how it is. It doesn't really want to stand up. It's leaning up against my fireplace, which is what helps keep the star up, because I really do like the star. Okay, so that's finishes / some previous stitching finishes. And then the whip that I got out, and I was having a fun time working on this, but then I needed to get to some other projects. So is We Gather Together by the Proper Stitcher. And I have had a lot done on it, which is why I decided to pick this one up, because I thought I can pick a goal of what I want to work on this piece, get that done, and then when that part's done, if I still want to stitch on it, I can, or I can put it down and move on to something else, and then I'll come back and pick another section and work on that. And so what I was able to do is I was able to get the whole top portion stitched. So I stitched all of this, and then I needed to stitch the rest of the saying at the top together. And so that's what I was able to accomplish. The birds still need their feet, but now where I am of what is next is I need to come over here, and this is mirrored over here, and then there is a border at the bottom, and there's like some little doodads in the sky, and then this will be finished. So I don't think I'm going to have this done before I go back to the framer, because I do have 2 pieces at the framer, Noel by Blackbird, and I also have what is there? What is it called? It's the sampler I did for my daughter, my youngest daughter. It's by Running with Needles and Scissors. I cannot think of what it's called right now, but My Little Sampler is what it's called. Those are both at the framer and they're ready. I just have to go to get them, and it's not super far, but it's about 30 minutes away. So I need to go and pick those up. So I'll have those for next time. I'm pretty sure I'm going to go pick them up sometime this week, and that's not going to get done this week. So when it's done, I'll get that to the framer, but I'm excited about that. All right. I also, as far as knitting, I did work on this. This was a new start, and I got some done on this. So if you are familiar with knitting, there is or if you've heard other people talking about, there's a website, and it's called Ravelry. And I never really understood what the big deal about it was until I started kind of going down this trail of knitting. And it's really cool, where it has whoever wants to join can join, and then you can put your projects on there. Well, when you look up, for instance, either a person, and it will show whatever projects they have in there, whether it's their things that they have favorited and they would like to stitch, or they have stitched and completed, and then it has the specific yarn they used and like all the details. So it's cooler than I thought it was. Not that I thought it wasn't cool, but it's just not, I didn't really understand because I wasn't knitting. So I found this pattern on Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch. It was on her Ravelry, and she had favorited it, and it's a free pattern, and it's called the Candy Shop Shawl, and it's basically just a striped shawl. And this person used a hand-dyed, like a variegated yarn. And it is definitely reminds me of using like a hand-dyed floss for cross stitch. And so this is what the hand-dyed variegation looks like. And so I have that as one stripe. And then this was from my Moon Glow Autumn collection, and this is called Book Nook. And so this is how far I've gotten, and this is where I am. And it's just, this is a very simple pattern once you get stitching, because these are just plain knit stitches, and then on the ends is where you're doing something different. And so it's been very fun. It's been fun to try something new, to learn something new, and it's definitely like reigniting this along with some quilting is reigniting my crafting fire, or whatever you want to, I don't really know how to explain it, but I definitely feel like it's at a much needed time in my life with just lots of changes happening with my kids and kind of their stage in life and trying to figure out how I fit into everything. And I was talking to some friends and I felt like I was giving a TED talk, but it's not like everyone goes through it, but it's been nice to just kind of try to do other things and get my mind thinking and going, and that's been fun. So I did work on that. I worked on the model, and then I cut the fabric because I happen to know the leader of the quilt along, Carrie Tiger Lily Designs, and she had sent me the cutting instructions to cut the fabric for her quilt along. And her quilt along starts tomorrow, October 1st. So if you're watching this on Tuesday, it starts tomorrow. If you're watching it after Tuesday, it started Wednesday, October 1st. This is a quilt along offered to her paid Patreon members to join her Patreon. And she talks a lot about this on her the latest video of hers that was posted on Friday. It's a perk of being in her Patreon. Her Patreon, she has one level and it's $5. And she wants to offer things, but she doesn't have different levels because she doesn't have a lot of the perks or a lot of the other things that people who have different levels are offering. But she does let like for instance, and I don't know if it will be sold out, but right now, if you're a Patreon member, she has in there the link to get extra October Keeper Club boxes. She will post extra things. She has just different perks and things ahead of time of telling you on her Flosstube what's going on. So in order to participate in the quilt along or get the information, you need to be a paid member. It's $5. In Patreon, she will have, I believe it's 2 videos a week. One is a question and answer, and one is explaining what is happening that week for the quilt along. It's 4 weeks. Obviously, you don't have to complete it in 4 weeks. She said she will have the videos on there for 30 days, and you can go back. The fabric that she is using, and I had bought a kit, is Sewing Bird by Laundry Basket Quilt. It's really pretty. If you want to see it completed, Lori Millsap, who's Island Time Quilting, she already completed her churn dash quilt. I have cut it all, and I am going to start sewing tomorrow. But if you do join the quilt along, Lori is going to offer a discount for her long arm services. So if you do finish it, you can send it to Lori, and she has all different what she will do and pricing and all that kind of stuff. You can be in contact with her. But she is offering a discount to those who are part of Carrie's Patreon and complete the quilt. So I will for sure be sending mine to her. And her business is Island Time Quilting. She also has a Flosstube with her daughter Mallory, and it's called Island Time Quilting, and you can find them on there. And both of them they have lots of fun projects. So if you are either a seasoned quilter and you want to participate, if you've never quilted before and you want to learn, this is a great way to learn. And I have also watched the first week's video. She had sent it to me early, and it's excellent. The detail that she goes into, it's slow, steady, so much information. She shows you what to do, how to do it. If you've never quilted before, I would really recommend joining, and if you're interested in quilting. If you're not, then don't worry about it. But if you are, this would be a great way to kind of get started. So that is Carrie Tiger Lily Designs. It is through her Patreon, and I'll put a link to that below. And again, the videos are going to be available on Patreon, I believe, for 30 days is what she said. And she talks about this on her last video, so that if you want to go back and watch them or whatever, you can go and check them out. But highly recommend. And I'm really excited to get back to quilting and kind of maybe go back to some of the things I started, or even if I just want to start new things, because I also really want to do the Tilda Christmas. I'm pretty sure I'm going to do the star quilt, but I need to get all of my materials to do that. So it's exciting me to get back to sewing. Okay, let me show you my haul. So the first thing I got is this is the Grace Notes Fabric of the Month Club, and this is called Wings of Silver. It's very pretty. Oops. This is a 40 count. Really pretty. It's like a light silvery blue color. I also got the Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine, and this came yesterday. And my favorite, that was design in here, of which I would like to get the threads, and maybe I'll start it. We'll see. This is from Shakespeare's Peddler. This is so cute. So that's in the magazine, along with many other let me see, I don't want to show my address. So here are these projects. And then here are some of the other ones. But so I am a subscriber, and it came to my house yesterday. I am thinking that either stores who get the magazine to sell, either they have gotten it or they should be getting it soon. So if you're not a subscriber, you should be able to get it soon. I also, this I was able to get because I am in Jess Como Stitches. She has a Patreon as well, and she had offered, this is a mini bag. She offered this as a Patreon sale, but she sells her bags on Friday. You're also able to get them. Como Stitches, and this is her mini bag. And I have found that it's a good size for, I don't have that pattern, but like the one we gather together, it would fit in here. If it's just like the half sheet folded, this is the perfect size for that. And I'm not a huge purple person, but I love the bees on this fabric, and so I thought, and I'm really liking that size, which is why I ended up getting that. And then this is the fabric to start the sampler from Annie, the Proper Stitcher. I needed to get the Earl Grey Hot from Lap and Loops, and this is the fabric for that sampler. And this shop where I ordered it from is called Be Beautiful Sip and Stitchery, and this is the shop's information. They had lots of fabric, and with it came this little bag, and it has some tea. Oops. This was also in my bag with my fabric. And then she also sent, this is from Cherry Hill Stitchery. This is a free pattern that I think they must have done. Oh yeah, this is for her shop. I can't really show it because it has her shop information, so I don't know if it was special for her shop or whatever. But this is from Jean Farish, and it says, "Being happy never goes out of style." And that's a quote from Lily Pulitzer. And then this other chart, it's a bird on a vase of some flowers, and that's another complimentary chart. I was trying to see if it says it was for her shop specifically, or maybe it was just one that she was able to get. And but so she put those both in the bag with my fabric, and that was much appreciated. So if you're looking for fabric or a shop, I would recommend this shop as well. I also received, what is this? Oh, that was from, I had purchased from Freckled Whimsy. This is a October Skies. This is a self-striping sock kit. I have yet to cast on or learn how to make the socks, but I have bought plenty of yarn to stitch them. Which, I mean, in cross stitch and across all of the fiber, and even in quilting, the buying and the making are totally separate. So, but I also wanted to show, if you are a knitter, crocheter, or you're interested in dipping your toe or jumping in the deep end, a couple things I found yesterday that were really fun is this was from a shop I went to, and the shop is called For Purl's Yarn Shop, and this is the website. And they are located in Winter Haven. I hate to admit it, but I thought it was Winter Garden, which is a totally different place in Florida. But it's okay. I got there. I was just following my directions. It said it was an hour. I drove an hour to where. But they had, which I have been watching some different knitting podcasts, and they've been talking a lot about this spin cycle yarn. And so I saw that this shop had it, and I wanted to try to go to another store and see it in person. And so this is the yarn, and the yarn is really what sold me on getting into knitting. / you could use this for crochet as well. So this is called Rhinestone Cowboy. And this might have been actually from I think this was from a different store. But they have spin cycle at this store for Purls. And this is called Balmaloni. And it's just like the yarn is so pretty. And when it is, they call it caking up, and you wind it into a ball, and you can see the different colors. And so when you knit it into whatever you're knitting it, you can see the variegation. And although this is much more variegated than a cotton or a silk floss you would use for cross stitch, it's similar where it's giving it different colors and movement. And to me, it's really fun. So that's some of what I bought. I also bought some yarn to try and knit a sweater. There's a pattern that many people recommended as a first sweater, so I'm going to try that. And then this is called Emma's Yarn, and the shop, it's hand dyed in Florida, and the shop is like the main place that they sell it. They also sell it other places, but this is one of the colors that they have. And this is, I got the cotton DK, which that's been a whole another learning, is all of the terminology, because just like in cross stitch, there is so many different terms and all kinds of things for knitting / crocheting. And so it's been a learning experience, which has been very welcoming. And that's kind of how I got into quilting. That's how I got into cross stitch, is I wanted to learn something. And it has been definitely an interesting journey through all of the different crafts that I've done and learning it, watching YouTube, asking questions. I mean, there's so many resources at our fingertips that it's awesome. So I was also gifted from my friend who had gone to the Hobby House retreat. She had bought this at Hobby House, and I cannot wait to put this in my display. That was a sweet gift I received. And let's see. Okay, the one other thing that I have, and then I have the giveaways from last week, is Lori, who is Lori from My Crazy Life. She sent me one of her cross stitch planners, and she sent another one to give away. And I am using this year. I love it. I think the paper is really nice. The layout for the month is nice. I've kind of fallen off just in general using the planner, but I like, especially at the beginning of the year, I was really using it. Sal's challenges, I used this to write down what my finishes were. There's a place in the back you can write. There's just plain paper, but I made lists of what I finished, and that helped me to do my mid-year recap. It also has some free patterns in here. Let me show you in the back too. So it goes through all the months. And then she has 2 pages for Whip Go. You could make 2 boards. And at the beginning of the year, I had made one, but then that kind of fell off. It has a place to put whips, new starts, plans. She has just some plain lined paper. Then this is for retreats, and she has 2 pages. To plan out retreat things. She has a place to put Stitchy Kindness. Trying not to show the patterns. All right, that's the Stitchy Kindness she has under the retreats. There's a packing page. Then in the very back, there's some graph paper. It's nice. It's spiral bound. The paper is, to me, like a big part of it. And so here is where you can find Lori. If you are interested, this will be one of the giveaways. One of the giveaways. Also, if you are not the giveaway winner, it is sold in Canada at Evertote, in the UK at Patchwork Rabbit, in the US, Colorado Cross Stitcher sells it, and then you also can get it on her Etsy shop, which is My Crazy Life. And it's a really nice planner. I've enjoyed using it, and it's easy to use. It does fit in some of the different quilted covers that people make, or you can make your own if you wanted to have a cover for the outside. It's really nice. So a couple things, and then I have the giveaway, is I wanted to just go ahead and put it out there. Because of my life right now, I am not going to be coming back for my weekly videos. However, I am going to still be having videos. So if I'm not back next week or the week after, I will be back. So nothing is going on. Nothing is wrong. I'm coming back for the videos, but I just wanted to put it out there because if I don't come back, I'm here every Monday or Tuesday. If I don't come back, I don't want anyone to worry. I'm fine and I'm coming back. My life is very busy right now. I'm working on the model stitch, which I shared. And so my personal stitching, I don't have as much. And I'm doing other things. So my plan is to, at the very least, for the next couple months or until I can get back to my regular consistency, is I'm going to at least come back once a month. And then randomly, I'm going to, when I have time or I have some things have piled up and I have time to do a video, I'll pop in. I might be sharing my quilt-along quilt-along progress. It might be some extra stitching. It might be a knitting whatever I happen to have at the time, I will share. But for at least for the next couple months, once a month, I'll have my regular video, and then intermittent, I'm going to try to pop in with some other videos, and I guess you could say, I'm going to try to post some more on Instagram, kind of like along the way what's going on. But sitting down to do the structured video, it takes up a lot of time, and I really enjoy doing it, and this is very fun for me, but I have other things that need to get done, and so that's how the schedule is going to work for the next couple months. It's probably going to be through the end of the year. We'll see. If it changes, I'll be back more. If not, then hopefully in January we'll get back to every week, every other week. I don't know. We'll see. It's for fun. I just wanted to say that, though, because I know people will wonder where I am, and there is nothing wrong. I will be back. I love doing these videos. I love chatting with you. I love reading the comments. It is very fun to connect this way because I have some people around that are interested, but for the most part, I don't have like people I meet up with all the time and things like that. And so this is my way of connecting and sharing my hobby and having some communication, even if it's via messages or whatever. So I wanted to put that out there. And let's make sure there's nothing. Also, because I'm not going to be consistent, if you would like to know when I post a video, there is a bell and you can click that and it will notify you when I have a new video come up. So that is the story on the videos and how that's going to be working for the next couple months. So I have the giveaway winners, and also, so if you have emailed me thus far, which there's 2 people from the last video I haven't heard from, all the giveaways have gone out. I also, on my Instagram, D-Stash page, which is sweetwaterstitcher.dstash, I have posted things and things have sold. Everything that people have paid me for so far has been mailed out. I'm pretty sure the first round I had done should be at their house or at their new locations, but I am going to periodically be posting things on D-Stash. There are some things on there now if you're interested. Kits. I'm just kind of going through everything and things that either I bought and I'm not really interested anymore in, or I don't really feel like I'm going to be getting to them anytime soon. I've just been sending them off to new homes, and I hope that other people can enjoy them. And I am going to go through some of my project bags, and we'll probably be posting some of those. So if you're interested, you can go and follow that account, and then it will pop up whenever I have D-Stash things. So if that's something you're interested in, that's where I'm posting it. I'm not posting it on Facebook. So, all right. So for the winners from last week, if you are a winner, send me an email to sweetwaterstitcher@gmail.com and I'll get these prizes in the mail to you. So the winner of the bag from Missy Lynn, which this is her information again if you're interested. It's a Facebook page and that's where you order. The winner is Kathy Birch, Burch. So congratulations, Kathy. You are the winner. And if you are interested in the other parts that she makes to go along with this, you can message her after you get her things. So Kathy Birch. Number 2, which was Folk Art Garden. The winner is Teresa Gurdina, Grdina. Congratulations. And number 3 of the Be Sweet ornaments, the winner is Kika's Stitches, KIKA''S Stitches. So congratulations to those who won. And I also wanted to offer, I'm just going to have this one giveaway since I am kind of going to be spacing the videos out. And I might do some giveaways in my Facebook group coming up, which is Sweetwater Stitcher. So if you are not a member, you can go and join the Facebook group. And I might be doing some different giveaways in there because I can come back and post things and do that easier than posting a video on YouTube. So if you're interested in the planner from My Crazy Life, leave a comment and use the word planner, PLANNER, in your comment. And when I have my next video, I will pull the winner. So just whatever the comment is and use the word planner and I will pull that. And you do need to be over 18, US resident, and a subscriber and like the video. So I hope that you guys have a great week. I hope your weather is getting a little cooler. Ours is still rainy and humid, but it's okay. It might get a little cooler sometime soon. We don't know. I hope you get a lot of stitching in or whatever the craft is you're doing. If you're interested in the quilt along, I will put the link below. Join me and Carrie and whoever else from her Patreon is joining in. I know there's lots of people and it should be fun. You don't have to use the fabric she's using. You can pick whatever fabric you want. But until next time, I hope you guys have a great time creating. I'll talk to you later. Bye.